Broadcast live from the State University of New York at Old Westbury. This is OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio. Tonight, OWWR Sports is proud to present women's volleyball live from the Clark Athletic Center here in Old Westbury, New York. Tonight, the matchup. SUNY Old Westbury Panthers take on the Medgar Cougars. Tonight, your play-by-play commentator is Ryan Garcia, color commentator Mohammed Ducarelli, and your court reporter, Jill Schaefer. Right now, let's cut things over live to the Clark Athletic Center here at SUNY Old Westbury in Old Westbury, New York, for this exclusive presentation of OWWR Sports.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's exciting volleyball matchup here on OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio. I'm Ryan Garcia, and I'm joined by the one and only Mohammed for tonight's broadcast of the Old Westbury Panthers taking on the Medgar Cougars. We're coming to you live from the Clark Athletic Center. Mohammed, we're in for an exciting evening. What should we expect from these two teams tonight?
You know, the Medgar Cougars, they are winless this season. They're 0-11 so far. Meanwhile, the Panthers, another struggling team, are 3-7. So I'm trying to find an interesting game. You know, just because they're winless doesn't mean they're that bad. It's just I'm just looking for an exciting game.
And look, when we talk about two teams going into any match and a team that is winless, and, you know, the Panthers have struggled this year, getting any sort of traction, being able to pick up any sort of traction in your season, that's what makes these games matter. It's not just about only caring if you're having a good year, only caring if there's something to play for in terms of any titles or anything of the sort. Sometimes you just got to play for your own pride going into next year, finding some sort of information on how good your players are and how they can be moving forward. But look, when we look at these two teams, when we look at two teams that have been struggling as of late, I think it's interesting to see how they're going to respond early, right? You have two teams that desperately want to win games. It'll be interesting to see how they kind of start this game out. And I'm a big proponent of scoring early and often. Mohammed, do you believe that how do you feel about the winner of the first set and their chances? Like, do you think that'll secure the match, or do you think it's something where the winner's going to have to stay diligent to keep momentum going?
Yeah, you know, Medgar, surprisingly, they haven't won more than one set this entire season. So I think if the Panthers are able to get an early start in, they could possibly even 3-0 this team. Most of their losses, which are all 11 of them, they haven't won a single set in 9 of them.
Yeah, and when we talk about, again, like, how do you get your team in the right position to win? For the Panthers, their leader in digs last time was Sophia Lopez. This was in their most recent matchup against St. Mary, and I think digs are such an important stat because that ability to play tenacious and aggressively throughout the match and throughout the game, it gets you extra bumps, extra opportunities to score, and extra opportunities to keep your opponent off the board. When you talk about going on runs, when you put 5 or 6 straight points up, that can decide a whole set. I mean, it's impossible sometimes to come back from that type of gut punch, and I think being able to generate digs all game, they generated 45, their opponent generated 50. Getting out-digged, I think, is something that is going to hurt them, and that's why they lost to St. Mary, in my opinion. I think they're going to need to be able to dominate that category in today's game. How do you feel about what you think the Panthers need to execute to win today's matchup?
You know, I think they just need to be more aggressive. You know, their last matchup against St. Mary, they lost 3-0. They didn't win a single set, so anytime you don't win a single set, there's a big problem. So I think they just have to be more aggressive, get higher, get those hits in, don't play too soft, don't play too much on the defensive end. Just try to get in there, get the ball over.
Yeah, and a little bit of home cooking potentially. Look, they haven't won a home matchup since the first game of the year. So they're going to kind of need to get something going right here at the Clark Athletic Center. A player I'm looking at for this game, it's Stephanie Macer. She leads the team in points with 109. It's by a pretty significant margin as well. She's going to need to be great, and you need your best players to be great when you need to get out of a hole. You know, you think of the tail of any sports team, the tail of any sports season, collegiate, pro, amateur, wherever you want to put it, high school level, when your players show up, you win ball games. I think Stephanie's going to be a big part of their ability to win tonight's contest.
Yeah, and it can't just only be Stephanie. She's going to need her whole team with her because Stephanie, she's averaging 109 points, which is absurd. And she has teammates like Stephanie Velez. She has 62. Nicole Zagani, she has 59. But she's going to need a whole team effort to get this win today.
Yeah, absolutely. And, one thing that I also need them to do in order to have a successful evening, you need to dominate in terms of the serves. They have 94 serve errors. Their opponents have 103, but they also have fewer errors than points generated on their or aces, excuse me. Like, their opponents have 128 aces against them and 103 errors. SUNY Old Westbury, 73 aces, 94 errors. When you make your own mistakes, you're going to have issues. You cannot give away points. In baseball, we talk about not giving away outs. You cannot give away points. Points are a currency. It's not a matchup where it's just time-based. It is first to a certain set of points. Points are currency. It's kind of like baseball where outs are currency. Points are currency here. You cannot give away too many points if you want to win this type of game.
Yeah, and they're just going to have to play their best to the best of their ability. And even though this is a winless team, those winless teams, they want that win really bad. So you don't know how hard they're going to come today. They might come even harder than the Old Westbury Panthers. So you just got to make sure they come out on top in that first set.
Yeah, look, and, we talk about better team, right? The Panthers are the better team. That is shown in the results. That is shown in the way they've played this year. That is shown in the statistics. But as you mentioned, just because you're the better team doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win. You have to show up to play. You have to show up with the same intensity as if this was the best team in the conference. That simple. You've got to match or exceed their intensity. You got to show them early and often you're the better team. You set that tone. And when you're a winless team, it's so easy to fall into that spiral and into that slump and have it seep through even your best players. There is a lot on the line here for the Panthers because picking up your fourth win, there's a big swing between being 4-7 and 3-8. 4-7, you're a win here, win there from salvaging your season. 3-8, you pack it up, right? It's that simple. So this is a big game, even if it's not against an opponent that you would view as a high-quality one relative to the conference. These are still college athletes, and you got to respect them as such.
Yeah, and if Old Westbury wants to win this game, they're going to have to force a lot of errors because Medgar Evers, they force tons of errors. They force 293 errors. They have 9 errors a game, around 8.5 errors a game, compared to their opponents who only get around 1.5 errors a game. So they make a lot of self-inflicted wounds. So if Westbury wants to beat them, they're going to have to be a lot better on their side of the end.
Well, you heard it here, folks. The energy's high. The players are getting ready, and we'll be right back with First Serve in just a moment. So don't go anywhere. Stay with us for all the action right here on OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio. And we are back here on OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio. We're moments away from the beginning of this first set here. The SUNY Old Westbury Panthers getting ready for what will be, again, a very important matchup. And look, when you kind of see, it's interesting to see kind of how this game can change everything for them in terms of their season, their record. Again, I think you want to put together a respectable record anytime you're out there, you're an athlete. You want to win, right? There is no shame in saying, hey, we got off to a bad start, but we turned things around, we got things rolling here. Westbury coming off of a loss in their most recent matchup, so you don't want to make that 2-3 losses. It's easy to have them spiral and compound,
Yeah, and 4-7 looks a lot better than 3-8.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to play to the best of their ability.
Yeah, and one thing I noticed here, and obviously warm-up lines, like you're playing specifically to an opponent here, but look, if they can execute the spikes they've been executing here in the warm-ups as they start to kind of clean up and get the court ready to start, I think they're going to have a great match because if it's not simple. When you can execute spikes all day, it's unstoppable. And you're playing a team that hasn't shown to be able to defend very well throughout the year, and as you mentioned, they tend to make a lot of errors. So hopefully for the Panthers, they're able to execute on that. And if you want to look at it from the standpoint of the Cougars here, that being Medgar Evers, they're going to – this is a big game for them too. You want to get that fat goose egg and make it a 1. That simple. It doesn't matter what your record is. If you finish with no wins, that is flattening. That's demoralizing, beyond demoralizing. You go a whole year, all the practices, all the off-season training, you don't pick up a win. So this is big for them too. I expect them to play like this is, a Super Bowl, a national championship, the World Series, the NBA Finals, whatever you want to compare it to. This is going to be a huge game for them. I expect them to match the intensity.
Yeah, and just looking, the Panthers are a lot taller than the Cougars. The Cougars aren't really a tall team, so they might have to rely more on their skill set, while the Panthers, there's a lot of tall players on the Panthers. They're going to be able to defend really well, get those blocks off. So they're just going to have to fully have faith in their offense and defense today.
Yeah, and as someone who's vertically challenged, I never underestimate someone based on their height. But in volleyball, we talk about strategy at the front of the net. When you're at the net, it's very hard to deflect or meet somebody on the spike or make a game-changing play. Sometimes it just comes down to height. Like, you'll see somebody be able to make a play solely based on their height. And that's not disrespect. That's not, an effort thing. It's just how the sport works. I think, again, basketball, volleyball, very height-oriented sports in terms of, like, the ability to execute and or not execute a play.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they're on an 8-game winning streak against the Cougars, dating as far back as 2015. So
wow.
The Panthers haven't lost to this team in a decade, so
wow.
It would be really saddening if today is the day they finally lose.
Yeah, and again, I mean, there's two different stories you can write today. You came in and you did a job at your own home court, or you lost to a team that was winless. You gave them their first win of the year. Very, very tough stories. Well, for both, there's a tough ending for this. There's an ending that leaves a sour taste in your mouth and sets the tone for the rest of the year. And then there's one that you're like, you know what, this is a building point. This is a building block for us as a team and for our players. And the Panthers and Cougars are taking the court. Music is dimming down. And we are underway here in the first set. Starting the serve. We're still waiting to see who's going to start the serve here, who's going to get the first look here. It looks like the Panthers, huddled right now, they may have the ball in their hands. We're still waiting on official confirmation there, but as we get ready here to start this matchup, again, a big game for Medgar Evers. They haven't won a game, and for Old Westbury, trying to look for their 4th win of the season. Still no confirmation on who has the ball just yet. There's no...
Yeah, and the Panthers, they're 1-1 at home this year. They beat Yeshiva University, but they lost to Farmingdale, so... home court is usually always the best option for everybody. You have your home crowd, you understand the gym, you understand everything around here. So hopefully this home court advantage works for the Panthers.
Yeah, and still, again, no word on. It seems like the Panthers will get first serve here as they have Maya Murphy on the serve. She'll have the first serve. We're getting ready to be underway here for the first set. The serve is up, and Cougars keep it in the air, bounce it around, but they're unable to corral it and handle it. That's a point for the Panthers. Panthers up 1-0 here in the first set.
And I guess that were the errors that we were expecting today. They just weren't able to keep the ball and get it over.
Yep. Serve is up, and the Cougars currently have it. They're trying to keep it alive here. They bump it over. Panthers corral it, bump it in the air, and the spike attempt. It wasn't a hard spike, but it was an effective one, Mohammed.
Yeah, it wasn't the hardest hit ever, but she aimed it pretty perfectly where the Medgar Evers Cougar player wasn't able to corral it.
Yeah, Panthers now lead here 2-0 in the first set. The serve is up, it's over the net, and it's a service ace for the Panthers.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like the Panthers are really struggling right now. Every shot they get over, they score.
Yep, and again, we talk about getting a run here. When you go on a run and score points as the serve is up for the Panthers, you can get some momentum. It's bumped over by the Cougars. Panthers, they have it. They're trying to set up some offense here. The spike attempt, corralled by the Cougars. Spike by the Cougars. Panthers, they keep it alive. A little touch pass over the net, and it is out of bounds. And it is a point for the Cougars. It is 3-1 Cougars. They'll take over. They'll have the serve now. A bit of a delayed call there, but now the Cougars take over.
Yeah, let's see what they have.
As the serve is up from the Cougars, Panthers handle it. It's the first serve of the day for the Cougars. And the spike attempt, it is ruled inbounds. Panthers pick up their 4th point, and they'll get it right back.
Yeah, and great serve by that Panther player right there, able to aim it right between the two Cougar players, and they just couldn't get it.
Well, the Panthers have been able to, again, just consistently deliver accurate and just give what the game's giving them right now. They're not doing anything crazy. They're just playing well as the Panthers get the serve up, and it is a service error for the Panthers. They rule out of bounds. The Cougars will take over. It is 4-2. We talked about mistakes there. That's definitely a mistake.
Yeah, and those errors can come back to hurt the Panthers, so you have to try to dial it down and get less of those, especially against a team that is winless.
Yeah, absolutely. As the serve is up from the Cougars, and the Panthers corral it. It's a good serve. They're keeping it alive. The spike attempt bounced off the hand of a Cougar defender, and the Panthers are taking over. It is 5-2.
Yeah, and the Panthers, they're doing a really good job of not letting those serves get down on the floor, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. As the serve is up, it is over the net. The Cougars corral it. They have it in hand. They're trying to set something up. A little bump. It's a little touch pass over. Panthers keep it alive here. The set. The spike. Oh, and the Cougars, some miscommunication. The Panthers put up their 6th point of the set. They've been able to have some really good rallies, I feel like. They've just kept the ball in motion. They're moving the ball well, and they're doing an excellent job of keeping rallies alive. As the serve from the Panthers is up, and it is just bumped over the net by the Cougars. Almost an ace for the Panthers. They keep it alive, though, with a touch pass. Cougars currently have it. The set. It's another bump. Panthers, bump, set, spike. Kept alive by the Cougars, but is it? It was knocked out of bounds. The Panthers get a point. It's 7-2. Cougars had a really good deflection on the spike there, but unable to send it back over and play.
Yeah, and the Cougars, they're really struggling trying to set up their offense.
Yep, as the Panthers immediately score again. The Panthers had a serve that bounces off the net. The Cougars seem to be a little bit taken off by the deflection, and it bounced off a Cougar defender to make it 8-2 Panthers. As the serve again is up, it's good. Cougars keep it. It's and the set attempt by the Cougars missed. It is 9-2 Panthers. It's a rout here in the first set.
Yeah, that just seemed to slip through number 11 for the Cougars' hands, and she just gave the Panthers another point.
Yeah, Brittany Palacios wasn't able to corral or keep the set kind of going there, and now the Panthers still have momentum. Here it is 9-2. The serve is up. It is over the net. Cougars bump, bump. Another bump. Is it going to get over the net? It will not. The Panthers pick up their 10th point.
Yeah, and those might be the quickest 10 points I've ever seen. It just seems like every time they hit it, they are scoring.
Look, the Panthers, they like free and easy points. Why wouldn't you? As the serve is up, Cougars currently have it. The set, the spike attempt. Oh, and the deflection off the net fools the Panthers. Cougars pick up their 3rd point of the game. I haven't seen them run a lot of spike plays, that being the Cougars, and they finally won one that's very effective.
Yeah, and that might have been an accidental play, but it happened to hit the rim. The net. It went over, and they scored, so.
Yep, as the Cougars, they had the serve successfully go over the net. The Panthers bumped it right over, but the Cougars didn't react in time. The ball drops, hits the floor. It's 11-3 Panthers.
Yeah, and I think she might have hit that with her feet. I don't know if she did, but it looked like it from here.
It looked like she wasn't expecting an immediate bump over the net. It felt like the bump might have been even accidental, but again, as we kind of talked about, accidental or not, it's a point for the Panthers. As the serve is, almost let go by the Cougars. Panthers keep it alive, and the Cougars caught sleeping a little bit. Panthers just send it right through a gap in their defense. Panthers have their 12th point of their set.
Yeah, and I don't think the Cougars were in the right position right there to defend against that ball.
Yeah, as the serve is up from the Panthers, it's knocked back over by the Cougars. The bump, the spike, kept alive by the Cougars. Cougars currently have it. They're trying to keep it alive, and they can't. It falls in their territory. It is 13-3 for the Panthers here. And, you mentioned hitting them where they ain't. It's a very baseball term. Hit them where they ain't. Just hit them where the defenders aren't. It's working here in volleyball as well as the serve goes over the net. Cougars keeping it alive. They're going to have to settle for a pass there. Yep, they pass it over the net. Panthers currently have it. They're trying to set something up. The spike attempt, and it hits the Panthers' own net. Unable to get it over. Cougars will take over here. It is 13-4.
Yeah, she might have mistimed that jump right there. She didn't really get the most out of her vertical right there, and she wasn't able to get the ball over.
Yeah, as the Cougars get their serve off, Panthers trying to keep it alive here. They have the spike play, and it's off the hands of a Cougar defender. They're unable to get it back over the net. The Panthers will immediately take over, make it 14-4. Every time the Cougars get a point, the Panthers respond in full.
Yeah, and it seems like the Cougars, they're not able to set up the ball every time it comes over.
Yeah, and it's a boat race right now. The Panthers are good. They get the serve up, bumped, set. Cougars set it over the fence. Oh, and the Cougars have to knock it out of bounds because on the set, they didn't keep it on their side of the court. They set it. It flew to the Panthers side of the court, and it is a point for the Panthers here as it's 15-4. Look, we're not too far away from a second set here. I mean, it's 15-4. I don't. Timeout is called by the Cougars. They're going to talk this over. We expected to see some mistakes from the Cougars today, but they have looked sloppy, Mohammed. They've looked very sloppy.
Yeah, they don't look really organized, even though they're a team. They've been playing more than 10 games this season. They just don't look organized.
Yeah, they look kind of taken aback by certain plays. They haven't run a lot of plays where they've been able to set properly and then deliver the spike. And, you see that's the difference between the Panthers and the Cougars right now. The Panthers are executing or at least setting up the plays where they can get points and at least put pressure on the Cougars. The Cougars haven't put pressure on the Panthers all day. There aren't a lot of spikes. They haven't had to defend a lot of spikes. They haven't had to dig out a lot of balls. The Panthers have just gotten a bunch of touch passes, sets, bumps over the net. Those are easy balls to play on for the Panthers, and for the Cougars, again, they've just been unable to put any pressure here. The Panthers will have the serve coming out of the timeout here. We're a couple seconds away from this timeout ending, and the Panthers, again, holding a 15-4 lead. If you're joining us just now here on OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio, the Panthers, their serve is up. It is over the net. The Cougars with a bump. Another bump. Two Cougars kind of collide there. Panthers get it, keep it going. Panthers have it. The set, the spike off the hands of a Cougar, and it falls on the floor. It is 16-4. And again, we talked about it again. The bumps. The Cougars are bumping everything over the net. That's not an effective way of offense here.
Yeah, I feel like they don't have the personnel to be getting those big spikes.
We talked about the height, you talked about the height advantage, and it's come into play here. As the Panthers get the serve, it's up, it's good, and it's off the hand of a Cougar, bounced straight out of bounds, or deflected straight out of bounds, and it is 17-4 Panthers here. It's a rout. That's what we're seeing here. It's a rout.
Yeah, and that was two Cougars. It looked like they sort of miscommunicated on that play.
Yeah, it's been miscommunication all day as the serve is up from the Panthers, and the Cougars knock it out of bounds again. The Panthers have been dominating in the ace category. That's their third ace of the day. That's 3 points essentially handed to the Panthers. It's 17-4 now.
18-4.
Or 18. Yeah, I misspoke there.
Yeah.
It's just an unbelievable route here as the serve is up. Cougars, they bump it. Bumped again by the Cougars. It's over to the Panthers side of the court. The Panthers set up the set, the spike off the hand of a Cougar, and it bounces out of bounds. It is 19-4 for the Old Westbury Panthers.
Yeah, and they're up by 15. We knew this game could potentially be a blowout, but this is looking like a slaughter. Yeah,
it's not a close ball game right now as the serve is up, and it is a service error for the Panthers. So a point for the Cougars. It is now 19-5. The Cougars, they're going to need the run of all runs to get back into this ball game.
Yeah, this is the first time they've scored in quite a while, I feel like.
Yeah, it hasn't really been a competitive ball game, but for the Cougars, you get something going. You at least feel something good, even if you don't win this particular set. So it's still important to compete in this set as the Cougars get ready for the serve. The serve is up. It is over the net. The Panthers with a set. Spike play. Inbounds. It's a point for the Panthers. That's 20. 20-5. They get the point right back. The Panthers have done a great job squashing any momentum for the Cougars. The Cougars have not been able to score and then keep it rolling. As the Panthers get ready to serve here, the serve is up. It is over the... it is not over the net. Sorry, apologies. It is a service error. Their second consecutive service error for the Panthers. It is now 20-6.
Yeah, when you try those type of serves, there's a risk in that. Sometimes it might not go over, but if it does, it's easy points. As
the Panthers corral the serve, the spike play, Cougars unable to defend it. That spike play has been so effective for the Panthers the entire set. It's now 21-6. Again, we talk about squashing momentum. That was a chance for the Cougars to get back-to-back points, at least score in 3 of the last 4 possessions. Instead, the Panthers trade points with them. And if you're the Panthers, you would trade points for the rest of this set. You're going to win this set.
Yeah, easily. Just a few more points until the end of this set.
Yeah, as the Panthers getting ready for the serve here. It's 21-6 here in the Clark Athletic Center. We're in the first set. The serve is up, and it is another service error for the Panthers. That is their third consecutive serve that results in a service error. It is 21-7. As the Cougars get ready to serve here in the first set, the serve is up. It's a good serve. Panthers kind of have to rush there. Little touch pass, and it's knocked into the net by the Cougars. That is a point for the Panthers. The Panthers, it kind of feels like this set is over. It's technically not over. This is not a timed sport, so comebacks are more feasible, but it's 22-7 now, and it just doesn't look close. As their top point scorer, Stephanie Mazur, checks into the game. It is 22-7. Panthers have the serve. They're getting ready. Serve is up, and it is over the net. That's their first non-service error in 4 straight serves. As a bump is over, Panthers keep it going. The set, they're just going to bump it over. Cougars with a bump, another bump, just a touch pass over. Panthers bump, set, spike, points. That's automatic for the Panthers. 23-7 here in the first set.
Yeah, you could just see the difference in the offense between these two teams. Just Panthers setting up every single shot. Meanwhile, the Cougars.
It's effective. Look, bump, set, spike. And that's a service error for the Panthers. It's 23-8. That's their 4th service error in their last 5 serves. But look, volleyball it's not an easy sport. It is not a simple sport. But when you can execute a bump, a set, a spike, and you can do it all day and your opponent can't, they're going to win the ball game every single time. Every single time. Cougars get the serve up here. Panthers keep it alive. Bump. Another bump. A diving effort to keep it alive. The touch pass keeps it alive, and the Cougars were caught sleeping. They didn't think the Panthers were going to be able to keep it alive.
Yeah, and I didn't think they were going to keep it alive either, but you saw the entire team go over to get that ball, and they were successful.
Yep, it's match point here. It's 24-8. Panthers get the serve up. Cougars keep it alive. Bump. Another bump. Knocks it. Is that inbounds? It's inbounds. The Cougars keep it alive this set. It's 24-9 now. Match point. The Panthers have to win by 2. I'm not sure they're concerned that they're going to have to win by 2. But again, it's not a time sport. If you go on a run, anything can happen. As the Cougars get ready for the serve is up. It is bumped by the Panthers. A set. Spike. Off the hands of a Cougar defender. They bump it over. Panthers bump it right back over. Cougars, they're exchanging bumps right now at the set. The set again. The spike. Is it in bounds? It's heading to our side. It is out of bounds. It is 24-10. That is the first consecutive point scored by the Cougars in this set. And for that ball, did not strike a single one of us.
Yeah.
If we can go a set without being struck by a ball, it's a miracle. As the serve is up by the Cougars, and it is kept alive by the Panthers. Panthers set. Spike play. Is that in bounds? Out of bounds. 24-11. 3 straight points for the Cougars here. And I feel like I just jinxed us because that's the second straight ball that's come to us. I'm going to stop talking about that because
maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to get drilled in the head. Cougars have the serve. It's up and it's good. Panthers bump, set, spike play, and it's not defended by the Cougars. That is the set. It is 25-11. That is your final score here in the first set. And with the Panthers taking a lead, it's a fantastic start of this match. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. Set 2 is coming up next. Stay tuned for the action here on OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio. And we are back here for the second set. The SUNY Old Westbury Panthers took the first set in dominant fashion, 25-11. Stephanie Mazur led with 7 points. She's the points leader on the season, and she's the points leader in set 1. Mohammed, I mean, that was a bloodbath.
Yeah. And, this score just shows the teams. The Panthers, 25, they won that set pretty easily, and their team is just looking spectacular, while the Medgar Cougars only scored 11, and their team is struggling. Their highest point scorer is just 1 point.
Yeah, I mean, look, you want to have a lot of people score. You want to have a lot of different people score, but you need one player to shine. That's a huge – again, we talk about star players. The best player on your team needs to stand out, not just on your team, but on both sides of the court. And as both the Cougars and Panthers get ready to take the court here, I've got to shout out. I mean, whoever's playing music at the auditorium today, or gymnasium, excuse me, it's incredible stuff. I mean, Katy Perry, I am a big fan of her music, big fan of all that. Not embarrassed to say it either on live radio. So, look, we're seeing both these teams take the court. They're determining who's going to set, although I imagine it'll be the Cougars because the Panthers got the first serve last time out. It is a 1-0 set. Remember, first to 3, for those who are not aware, at home. And so if the Panthers are able to win 2 more, it's going to be a sweep. And the Cougars have been swept a lot this year, as you noted in the pregame show. So it's not unfamiliar territory for the Cougars. And hopefully for the Panthers, they can sniff kind of the blood in the water here.
Yeah, and I think if I was the Panthers, I wouldn't want to lose a set. I think losing a set to a team – I don't want to be disrespectful, but this mediocre just wouldn't feel right on my mind.
look, you can't play down a competition. You can't look at the first set and go, we were so much better than them, we're fine. No, you're so much better than them, you have to keep that same momentum. You have to keep playing like that in order for that to remain true. Because, look, you have to update your resume. If you lose a set, you're not much better than that team. That team has proven they can beat you in any given moment, in any given set. So it's an important set number 2 here. We'll kind of know if it's going to be lopsided or if it's going to be a more evenly contested battle. As the Cougars get ready for the serve, a little bit of a dribble there, a little bounce. Nothing wrong with a good luck bounce. As the Cougars getting ready to serve, Panthers awaiting it. The serve is up. Panthers with a bump, a set, a spike. Kept alive by the Cougars, but it's knocked out of bounds. An early point for the Panthers. They keep dominating there. I mean, what else is there to say?
Yeah, and the Cougars, they have a bad habit of just simply hitting the ball with no intentions.
Yeah, there's not a lot of intent, as you mentioned. Shania McAllister recorded the first point as the serve is up. Left-handed serve, knocked out of bounds by the Cougars, but they keep it alive. Oh, that's a fourth touch. It's a point for the Panthers. It was impressive the Cougars were able to keep that alive. They knocked it way out of bounds. I mean, they almost crashed into the crowd, but knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, and that player, she should have known that got to hit it over those 2 hits already.
Absolutely have to. Is that a service error or a service ace? They're ruling it a service error on the Panthers. Making way too many of those so far in this game. I know it's been a lopsided score, but can't be making those errors. Not if you're doing the other game it doesn't really matter that much. But in this game, matters a little bit. As the serve is up from the Cougars, Panthers bump, set, touch pass. Oh, wow, completely caught the Cougars off balance. A point for the Panthers. That was a brilliant play, Muhammad. They were expecting spike. They got a soft little touch pass.
Yeah, that's just great technique by her.
Yeah, look, I mean, when we talk about power and velocity on spikes, that's great and all, but when you have the touch, the body control to go up in the air, look like you're going to spike it, but you just get a little tap, that's beautiful just as well. As the Panthers getting ready for the serve here. Page serves it, it's up, it's corralled by the Cougars, a set, but the set was heading out of bounds. The Cougars had to try and knock it over to keep it alive, and it's a point for the Panthers. I don't have words for kind of the play we've seen from the Cougars today.
Yeah, that hit right there is supposed to be a setup for your team, and you just throw it to the side.
Yeah, it's something where, again, the Panthers are putting pressure on the Cougars to make plays, and the Cougars aren't making them. The Panthers get the serve up. It's good. A bump that it kind of caught the Cougar defender off guard. Touch pass kept alive by the Panthers. A set, another set. Spike attempt. Oh, and that's money. Laser beam from Stephanie Mazer. Cougars had no chance there. I mean, that was into a pocket of no defenders.
Yeah, she jumped high on that one.
You talk about vertical, you talk about velocity, it's got both. Panthers up here 5-1 in the second set. They took the first set, so they're looking to make it 2 straight. The serve from Paige Herbert is up, and it's over the net, and the Cougars knock it straight out of bounds. The service ace for the Panthers and for Paige Herbert.
Yeah, and that's one of those serves where if it gets over, they're scoring.
Yeah, and it's, again, they just put pressure. You just play your game. You just play clean, fundamental volleyball, and you force the team that's making mistakes to keep making them. As Paige, doing a little bit of a dribble routine. She's had it on her service ace. Why not keep doing it? The serve is up, and it's corralled by the Cougars. A bump, a set, touch pass over the Panthers. Keep it alive. No one's there. The set, the bump. They're just going to bump it over. They didn't have anything going there. Cougars keep it alive. A touch pass. Another touch pass. Panthers keep it alive. Little bump. A set. A touch pass. Cougars. Great play to keep it alive. Panthers keeping it alive on their end. Stephanie Mazer with a laser beam. That's knocked out of bounds.
It looks like routine from Mazer right there. Every time they set it up for her, it gets over and it hits the floor.
Look, you want your best player to look like the best player on the court. Stephanie Mazer looks like the best player on the court by a country mile right now. As the serve is up, and that's no disrespect to her teammates. The serve is up, and it's kept alive by the Cougars as they try to get something going, but the touch pass drops in between a pocket of Panther defenders. It is a point for the Cougars. It is 7-2. But to the point, it's not like other Panthers aren't contributing. It's just that Stephanie's been that good. And it's you have your best player playing well. You have your complementary players playing well. That's a good recipe to win ball games.
Yeah, you always want your best player finishing those plays, and she's finishing a lot of them.
Yep, as the Cougars take over here, they're getting ready for the serve. A little dribble action. Getting ready to serve here. Panthers awaiting it. The serve is up. Handled by the Panthers. It's a bump. It's a set. Spike attempt. Oh, they had no chance. Stephanie Mazur, another point. It is 8-2 here, or 8-3, 8-2, sorry, here in the second set. It's just, that plays money.
Yeah, and the Cougars, they just gave her a wide open spot to hit it straight into, and they gave it to her, so why not take it?
Well, that's where the height advantage kind of matters here, because if you have someone up front that can kind of just get the hands up and do a job, you can get at least a deflection. As the service up from the Panthers, and the Cougars knock it straight out of bounds. That's another service ace for the Panthers. That's Shania McAllister who picks up another ace. The Panthers have been on a roll in terms of their serves and the quality of their serves here in the ball game. McAllister getting ready to get another serve for her. She hopes for another ace. The serve is up. It is over the net. Cougars bump it. Another bump. And it's not going to make it over the net. The Cougars keep making mistakes. The Panthers keep capitalizing. It's 10-2 Panthers.
Yeah, and these errors, we knew they would come, but not in this fashion. It just looks like they're not ready to play this team.
It's a lopsided affair here as McAllister with the serve. The serve is up. The serve is kept alive. Cougars bump it. Is it out of bounds? It is! Another service ace for the Panthers. It's 11-2 in the second set.
And if you're the coach, who do you blame here?
That's a tough question, Mohammed. That's a tough question. I don't think any single person is responsible for it. I think it's just a group effort right now as the serve is up and it's knocked way back. Cougars trying to keep it alive. That's out of bounds. They have no chance there. It is 12-2 Panthers. Mohammed, I don't have words. I don't have words. I do not have words. I'm just going to say the Panthers are getting ready to get the serve here. It's 12-2. McAllister serve up. Cougars knock it straight back. 13-2 Panthers here in the second set.
Yeah, and it feels like they lack the fundamentals, really. I don't feel like they're setting the ball correctly. I don't feel like they're getting digs correctly. I don't know.
It's just they're off kilter right now. The serve is up from the Panthers, and it is a service ace. Just kept it in bounds.
Yeah, that was great aim by McAllister right there. The Cougars thought it was out of bounds as well, and the ball went in.
Yeah, it's 14-2. The Cougars have to talk it over. I don't know what that conversation looks like. I don't know if I want to be in that conversation if I'm a player right now. Like I've been on my fair share of getting absolutely smoked. I wasn't a particularly good pitcher. I know what it's like to get beat up. Wasn't a great conversation after or in the middle of that, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like the Cougars are letting the Panthers offense get off too easy. You know, there's no pressure when they're going for strikes. They're getting anything they want.
Yeah, and I mean this this is not a diss on the Panthers. I'm not sure they feel like they're even dominating in terms of they're making all these plays. They're just playing volleyball. They're just making the routine plays, and they're letting mistakes be made. They're not trying to do too much. They're not trying to humiliate their opponent. They're not trying to let the score kind of get in their head it's 14-2, who cares? They're just, hey, it's 14-2, go about it. It's very business, very workmanlike, the way that they're performing today. It's just routine. It looks like they're almost practicing out there.
Yeah, sometimes these practice games, quote-unquote games, can actually help these teams go on runs. So hopefully this changes the trajectory to the Panthers season and they can go on a little run, try to even their record out, maybe even go positive.
Nothing better than winning. Winning cures all. That's a common saying. As a service up from McAllister, it's over the net. Cougars with the bump, a set, a touch pass, kept alive by the Panthers. The bump, the set. Stephanie Mazur. It's out of bounds, and that is a point for the Cougars.
Yeah.
Just a little too much mustard on it.
A little.
A little too much. I'm not a fan of mustard, so I want none of it on mine. But Cougars are going to take over here. It's 14-3. We're in the second set for those who are just joining us here on OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio. The Cougars serve is good. It's kept alive. Mazur, the spike is kept alive by the Cougars. They have to get it over. Panthers keep it alive. The bump. Another bump. Mazur, left side. And it's off the net. It's a point for the Cougars, their first pair of consecutive points in this set. It's now 14-4.
Yeah, Mazur, she almost got that one, but maybe that was a little fatigue right there. She's been jumping all game.
Yeah, as the serve is up, kept alive by the Panthers, almost knocked it out of bounds. They're going to have to just bump it over. They do. Oh, no, it falls just a little bit short. and it's 14-5 for the Cougars. Whatever they talked about in that timeout, man, it's working.
Yeah, they're scoring. I mean, they're not letting the Panthers score as easily as before.
And it's a service ace for the Cougars. This game is now within 10. It's a 14-6 contest here in the second set. It's an 8-point game. This is no longer a laugher, in my opinion. I mean, it's a large lead, but Cougars getting ready for the serve. Kept alive by the Panthers. Panthers trying to break their streak of scoring. Mazur, left side, touch pass. Kept alive by the Cougars. Cougars, a bump. Another bump. Bumped by the Panthers. Mazur, spike attempt. Is it good? It is. It's a point for the Panthers, and they make it 15-6 here. Now, the scoreboard here at the Clark Athletic Center says 15-6. The scoreboard online says 14-7. So I wonder if we're getting a little more clarification on the scoreboard here or on the score. But from our counting, it's 15-6 and on the scoreboard. So Panthers will take over. They have the serve here. They're seems to be talking something over here. Panthers getting ready for the serve. Serve is up. And it is bumped, set, just bumped over by the Cougars. Panthers corral it. They keep it alive. Touch pass. Cougars corral it. They keep it alive. Bump. Another bump. Yep. Kept alive by the Panthers. A set. Mazur, left side. Spike. Off the hand of a Cougar. That's another point for the Panthers. It is 16-6.
Yeah, and before that, I was going to say it looks like the Cougars got a little accustomed to expecting Mazur to hit the ball, but Mazur just still scoring.
Yeah, she was on the same side she was before. Panthers, the Panthers had it over, knocked it over on the serve to the Cougars. The Cougars unable to return serve. So it is 17-6 for the Panthers. Another costly mistake for the Cougars. As Panthers get ready for the serve. Serve is up. It is a good one. Kept alive by the Cougars. Cougars bump it. Another bump, and it's into the net. Panthers record another point. It's 18-6. And a game that looked like, hey, the Cougars have some momentum, is quickly turning into another blowout.
Yeah, we just got to give it up to the entire team. You know, they were letting a little points go over, and now it looks like they're more accustomed.
Yep, as the Cougars with a bump, and it is it in bounds? No, it is ruled out of bounds. The Cougars knock it out of bounds. The Panthers pick up their 19th point of the second set. It is 19-6, and it's they're winning in dominant fashion here. As the serve is up from the Panthers, Cougars bump it out of bounds. It's a point for the Panthers. 20-6 here in the second set. Panthers, they've dominated in the first set, and they're pulling away here in the second set after the Cougars went on a little bit of a rally. Panthers respond with a serve. Cougars keeping it alive here. Touch pass. Is it out of bounds? It is out of bounds. Another point for the Panthers. They are this isn't close again, Muhammad.
Yep, the errors.
A lot of mistakes from the Cougars here. Panthers getting ready to just keep serving, keep it rolling. The serve is up. The serve is over the net. And it is a service ace for the Panthers. Oh, wow. This game went from ugly to interesting to ugly in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and the Cougars, they look like they had some fight, but that fight seems to have gone away.
They do pick up a point here on the service error by the Panthers. It is 22-7 Panthers, and the Cougars will take over here. But as you mentioned, yeah, the fight that we saw from the Cougars, it seems to it's like a dying wind in the air. It has been squashed out and vanquished by the Panthers in this second set. It's 22-7. Cougars getting ready for the serve here. A little bit of a dribble action. The serve is up, and it is corralled by the Panthers. Panthers bump, set, spike attempt. Off the hands of the Cougars, and it hits the net. Panthers pick up their 23rd point of the set. It's 23-7.
Yeah, and this looks similar to that first set.
I'd say similar to that first set is the best way to put it without being too rude or honestly, I'm sure the blunt conversation, I don't have to make it. I don't have to say it. I'm sure the coaches will have their blunt conversation with the Cougars about their performance in this game. It is 23-7 here in the second set. As the Panthers getting ready for the serve. The serve is up. And it is bounced off the hands of the Cougars, but they keep it alive. The bump, is it going to get over? It will. Corralled by the Panthers. Panthers bump it, set. Touch pass, kept alive by the Cougars. Cougars return serve, and the Cougars then knock it into the net. It is match point here in the second set, 24-7. Panthers looking to just make it 2-0 and having a chance to sweep in this game.
Yeah, and that was just a good play by Paige Herbert right there, keeping the ball over, jumping high to block that one.
Paige has been very impressive today. The serve is up, and it is a service ace to end it here in the second set. Well, oh, no, they're ruling it out of – nope, they're ruling it inbounds. Inbounds, well, that's going to be it for the second set, folks. And the Panthers go up 2-0 on a dominant 25-7 win here in the second set. We'll be right back after this quick break with the third set. Keep it locked in right here on OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio. And we are here for the third set at the Clark Athletic Center located in Westbury, New York. The SUNY Old Westbury Panthers up 2-0, chance to sweep and win the match here. Mohammed, I'm not sure if there's analysis beyond the Cougars have not played good volleyball tonight. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I just think, they're not taking the risks needed to win. Their ace, their serves, all pretty overhand, easy to control. They're not really spiking the ball. It's not hard to beat a team that doesn't do those things.
The Cougars allowed 12 aces from the Panthers. 12 of their 25 points came from aces. That's error-filled, bad fundamental volleyball as the Panthers and Cougars switch sides. The Panthers will have the serve here in the third set as the clock starts winding down, and this third set is about to be underway. Panthers, they want to get it done here, right? No other way to put it. You want to get it done right here, right now. Don't give any life to the Cougars, because if the Cougars take a set, they got some life breathed into you. You want to just end it here. You want nothing. You want no semblance of doubt to creep into your mind. You don't want any semblance of pressure. Everyone talks about how the team who's up 2-0 has pressure on them. Absolutely not. The team who's down 2-0 has pressure on them. The Cougars are going to play for their lives here.
Yeah, you just want to always end off on a high note. Hopefully it carries off into the next game. So Panthers, you need to come to win.
Also means less fatigue on your body. You play 3 sets. You want to play, if you play 3 sets and win, that's a double win. Right? So that's a win, and that's a win for the body. Because I can't even imagine the pain and soreness you got to go through playing out the entire season. It's a very long year. Panthers getting ready to serve it here in the third set. A little bit of some dribble action before the serve. Very typical. Serve is up. It is over the net. Cougars. There was miscommunication. The Panthers pick up a service ace, picking up right where they left off. 50% of their points, going back to last set, have come off aces.
Yeah, those two teammates, both of them about to hit it. Then none of them hit it.
And that's another ace. The Panthers, so now you can say over 50% of the Panthers' points, dating back to the second set, have come on aces. I don't know what else to say there. I don't know if there's words I can really use to describe as the aces. Oh, that's an error from the Panthers. So very early here, if the ball's over the net, it's a point. If the ball isn't, it's a point, right? At that point, that's kind of what we're getting here from the early serve action as the Cougars will take over here.
Yeah, and this score looks the closest it's ever been.
2-1 here in the third set. Cougars dribbling it. A serve is up. It's over the net. Kept alive by the Panthers. Panthers bump it over. Little touch pass to keep it alive. Cougars knock it. They keep it alive. They're going to have to settle for a touch pass, and it just gets over the net. The Panthers, for the first time tonight, are tied with the Cougars because the Cougars just tied it at 2. So, talk about closeness. Hey, the Cougars, they need points. They need a score. They need a win. So, Panthers will not have the serve. It'll be the Cougars. Cougars get the serve going. Panthers corral it. Bump, spike, and it is into the net of the Panthers. The Cougars take a 3-2 lead here in the third set.
Yeah, the first time leading, I think they did a really good job there of blocking. That's been pretty rare for the team today.
Yep, they're executing a lot better here as the Cougars get the serve over. Spike attempt, out of bounds. Panthers commit the out-of-bounds penalty. Cougars, it's 4-2 for them. They're leading by 2 here in the third set. Largest lead of the night. Serve is up. Bumped by the Panthers. Bumped again. Spike attempt. Off the hands of a Cougar defender. The Panthers pull within 1 here in the third set. It is 4-3.
Yeah, the Panthers are not really dominating like they were in the past few sets, but, they don't have their leading scorer, Macer, out there. But, if you're the coach, you want her to get a little rest, and when you need her, just bring her back out.
Yep, as the serve is up, and it's knocked out of bounds. Cougars unable to keep it going. So that 2-point lead, that 4-point run for the Cougars, quickly turns into a tie as the Panthers rattle off 2 straight. So another service error for the Panthers. 3 of their first 4 points in this set have come off service aces, as they will get ready for the serve. The serve is up. It is knocked out of bounds by the Cougars. The Panthers reclaim a lead. It's 5-4 in the third set.
Yeah, and it looks like most of these balls that are ending in Panther points are aimed directly at number 9. And she's on the shorter side, so I feel like that's the Panthers' game plan.
As the Panthers commit a service error and the Cougars tie it up here at 5, they'll take over for the serve. It's a bit of a closer contest to start the third. I can't say a bit of a closer. It's a close contest.
Yep.
Cougars, the serve is up. It is kept alive by the Panthers. Panthers, the set, the spike attempt. Cougars knock it out of bounds. It is 6-5. Panthers reclaim the lead. Bit of a back-and-forth contest here.
Yeah, no, I don't want to pick on her, but that ball was aimed at number 9 again.
Well, again, we talk about like the height advantage on spikes. Those are really useful there because you can kind of catch it a little bit earlier in the flight path before it's sinking on your hands. The Panthers will take over on the serve here, leading 6-5. They're up 2-0 in the set if you're joining us here on OWWR, Old Westbury Web Radio. The serve is up. It is good. It's kept alive by the Cougars. Cougars bump it. They're going to have to settle for a touch pass over the net. Panthers spiraling but keep it alive. Spike attempt out of bounds. It's a tie game here in the Clark Athletic Center. It's 6-6. Cougars are taking over here on the serve.
Yeah, and McAllister, she put a little too much power on that one, or I would say like a lot too much power.
Yeah, it's way too much power on that one, but if you're able to straighten that one out, it's probably going to end up in bounds as the serve is up. It's good. Panthers keeping it alive. They knock it out of bounds though. Cougars take a 7-6 lead. The Cougars are playing a lot better, a lot crisper. Panthers making a few more mistakes. The combination of that resulting in some offense here for the Cougars. As the serve from the Cougars is up, it is a floater over the net. Panthers had to dive to keep it alive, and it is the Panthers unable to keep the rally going. The Cougars pick up their 8th point of the third set. It is 8-6 here in the third set.
Yeah, and the Cougars, they look like a different team right now.
Look like a different team, absolutely. That's a very, very, very good point here. As the Cougars getting ready for the serve, they're up 8-6. It's tied for the largest lead of the night. They led by 2 previously in this set. The serve is up. It's good. Panthers trying to keep it alive after return from the Cougars. And a deflection on the spike. Cougars scrambling to keep it alive. The third touch is into the net. Cougars tried to keep the rally going, spiked it straight into the net. Panthers pick up their 7th point. They'll take over, and it's a 1-point ball game.
Yeah, and I think she was a little too far to be hitting that ball, how she hit it right there.
Well, these long rallies seem to have, at least in this set, have favored the Cougars. Throughout the entire match, it's favored the Panthers. The Panthers are going to have to show they can go back to winning these long rallies and not just rely on the aces and the early mistakes and all that stuff to score points. The serve is up. It is corralled by the Cougars. The Cougars bump it. They're going to have to just knock this one over. If they don't get it over, it's out of bounds. A point for the Panthers. We said they can't rely on service aces. They're going to have to get into rallies and win it. The Cougars provide a point without returning serve. So it's 8-8, a deadlock tie here in the Clark Athletic Center. The serve is up. It is corralled by the Cougars. They have to just bounce it over. And is it out of bounds? It sails out of bounds. The Cougars commit an error there. Panthers up 9-8 here in the third set. They've rattled off 3 straight points.
Yeah, and it looks like they finally woken up.
Woke up indeed as the serve is knocked out of bounds. Cougars running over, and they're unable to get there in time and return serve. It's 10-8 Panthers.
Yeah, Panthers are going on a little run again.
Yep, they've scored 4 consecutive points. They've taken a 2-point lead as it matches their largest lead of the set here. The serve is up. It's over the net. Cougars knock it straight out of bounds towards their bench. It's 11-8 here in the third set. Panthers make it 5 consecutive points to take a 3-point lead.
And the Cougars are just, looks like they're going back to their old ways, just those errors.
Mistakes. Panthers serve up, knocked out of bounds, another ace. That might have ended up going out of bounds if they didn't make contact. That being the Cougars, it's 12-8 Panthers. They have a 4-point lead.
Yeah, and if you're the Panthers, I think you're taking this really good because, you were losing a little bit, but you're just proving that you can still function even without your highest point scorer playing.
Yep, as the Panthers unable to corral. So just to give you guys a little recap, Panthers had the serve. They served it over. the Cougars just needed all 3 touches to get it back over. Panthers were unable to return serve after that, so it's 12-9. Cougars take over. Their serve is up. It's corral, the bump, a set, touch pass, kept alive by the Cougars. Cougars trying to set something up here. They're going to have to settle for a bump there. The bump from the Panthers. The set. Spike attempt deflected off the hands of the Cougars. They bump, return serve. Panthers trying to set something over. Up, touch pass. The Cougars kept it in bounds. The body control, the ability to keep that pass in bounds. Incredible play from the Cougars there. It's 12-10. They'll keep the ball here, and it's now a 2-point lead for the Panthers.
Yeah, and the Cougars, they finally gave some pressure. They blocked that ball right there, and it ended up with a point for them.
Yep, as the serve from the Cougars is knocked wildly, but the Panthers able to keep it alive. Cougars trying to set something up here. The serve is kept alive by the Panthers. Panthers currently have it. They're trying to set something up. The spike attempt. Is it in bounds? It is. It's 13-10 for the Panthers. Beautiful offense there to keep it alive.
Yeah, and great strike by Paige Herbert right there. A lot of power on that one.
Paige has played a really strong game on both the serve and just in general. She's had impacts all over this contest. 6 points for her on the night, tied with McAllister for the second most points in the team. The serve is up. It is a service ace for the Panthers. They make it 14-10, and they return to having a 4-point lead after surrendering 2 consecutive points.
Yeah, and it just feels like the Panthers, they know they shouldn't lose a set to this team, and they're finally taking this game seriously again.
Yep, the Cougars, they've been battling in this set. They've competed. They've played very well, but the Panthers have played that much better. The serve is corralled by the Cougars. Panthers now have it back. They're just going to hit a searing shot that's off the hands of a Cougar defender, and it's knocked out of bounds. It's 15-10. I think it's another shot, Muhammad, where if the Cougars just let that one go, I think it was going to sail out of bounds.
Yeah, you didn't need to touch that, but like I was saying before, it just feels like sometimes they just want to hit the ball.
Well, when you're trailing, and this is why I talk about pressure, you feel like you need to make plays. And that's what's happening here. The Panthers, the serve is just tipped over the net. Return serve from the Cougars there. The Panthers trying to keep it going. The rally kept alive. Cougars currently have it knocked over. Panthers side. The bump. A set. Spike attempt. Not a rocket of a spike, but it did a job. And a touch pass. Just a tip job right over the net. The Panthers 16-10 here in the third set.
Yeah, and Kopala, she towers over everybody else, and she's using that height.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of unexpected. The Cougars didn't really have their players positioned to deflect it or defend against that as the serve is up on the Panthers. Panthers get a service ace as the Cougars knocked it straight out of bounds. It is 17-10 here in the third set. The Panthers can smell a match victory.
Yeah, just a few more points. And it felt like this game was a lot closer, but now it doesn't feel that way.
A service error committed by the Panthers makes it a 17-11 game. The Cougars taking over here. And as you mentioned, yes, this is the most lopsided this match has been. The largest lead of the night, or the largest lead of the set, 7 points in favor of the Panthers. But the Cougars have a chance to respond here. I think this might be the ball game. I know I'm calling it maybe a little bit early, but if the Cougars don't respond here, I don't like their chances to win. They get the serve over. Panthers keeping it alive. Spike attempt off the hands of the Cougars. They knock it out of bounds. 18-11, the Panthers reclaim a 7-point lead, tied for the largest lead of the night. And look, I'm not saying the match is over. I'm not saying that. But that was a pivotal point in this contest because that was an opportunity to capture some momentum. The serve is up, and it's knocked into the net, or not even, it didn't even make it to the net. And the Panthers pick up a point. It's 19-11. Yeah, that was a chance to capture momentum, Mohammed. That was their opportunity there.
And it just feels like the Cougars are in their heads right now.
Yeah.
A little demoralized, being down 2-0, then down 19-11 in the third set. You just don't feel like you have a lot of fight left.
Yep, as the Cougars corral the serve from the Panthers. A bump, they're going to have to just hit it over. And did it take 4 touches? It did. That is a violation. It is a point for the Panthers. It's 20-11. Again, just mistake after mistake. That's where we're at here. Mistake after mistake. The serve is up, and it's corralled by the Panthers. Panthers keeping it alive here. They just have a touch pass. Cougars knock it right over. Tipped. Cougars knock it way out of bounds. Panthers make it 21-11. It is a 10-point ball game. It is their first double-digit lead of the third set. Not their first double-digit lead of the night if you've been watching or listening all evening. But now the Panthers reclaim a 10-point lead here in the third set. The serve is up. Corralled by the Cougars. Well, touch pass, diving attempt to dig it out, but that's going to be a point for the Cougars. Cougars respond to make it 21-12. As they'll take over serve here in the third set.
Yeah, and the Panthers, it just looks like head off their whole team on that one play.
Yep, as the serve from the Cougars is kept alive by the Panthers. Spike attempt. Is it in bounds? It is! 22-12 for the Panthers. What a play.
Yeah, just 3 more points away from victory.
I believe that was Murphy who picked up the point there as just a great play. Just a great play. Gotta love great offense. Have to. They played a really clean game, and the second half of this third set, a lot of divvying up of the match here, but second half of the third set has looked excellent for the Panthers. The serve is up. Cougars corral it. They just knock it over on the first touch, so that's not what they wanted to do. The spike off the hands of the Cougars. Another point for the Panthers. They're 2 points away from victory here in the Clark Athletic Center.
Yeah, and just, you're 3 points away, but don't be too confident. Anything could happen.
Yeah, as the serve is up, corralled by the Panthers. Panthers set. Spike attempt. Not a spike attempt. It was just a touch pass, and it's off the hands of the Cougars. 24-13 here in the third set. It is match point. The Panthers one great play away from a sweep here in the Clark Athletic Center.
It looks like there's going to be a change in the lineup right here.
Yep, Paige Herbert, who's played a phenomenal game, is coming in here for the Panthers. The serve. It's up. It's a service ace to end it. The Panthers. Oh, it's out of bounds? It's 24-13. That was match point. I apologize for those listening at home. I think the scoreboard had 24. I could have been wrong there.
Yeah, I think a little tweak by the scoreboard right there.
Yeah, a little sneaky tweak there. Anywho, serve is up. That's an error. So ace followed by an error. It's now 24-14 here in the third set. Again, just 1 point needed for the Panthers for them to win here. The Cougars will take over on the serve.
If you're the Panthers, I don't want to lose on the error.
But you win on an error. Oh my! It's Are they delayed celebration there?
Wait, they won.
They ruled it out of bounds, and the Panthers pick up a victory here. That is the third set in the books, and we're going to have – don't go anywhere because we're going to come right back here with an interview with our Panther player of the game. We'll be right back here on OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio. And we are back here on OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio. The SUNY Old Westbury Panthers pick up a dominant victory. They sweep 3-0, and there was a close moment in the third set, but there wasn't a close set at all.
At all.
Yeah, it was a dominant victory here for the Panthers. To take you guys kind of through this here, a 3-0 sweep. Panthers won by double digits in each and every set. They did not allow more than 14 points in any set. Obviously, they scored 25 in each. You need 25 to win it. And we'll be shortly here with the Panther player of the game. Mohammed, how did you walk away from this game for the Panthers?
If I'm the Panthers, you did face the worst team in the conference, a winless team, 0-11, but you did show dominance, and that's what you want. Even when you're playing the trash teams, you want to still try to play the best of your ability, come out, dominate, because who doesn't love a dominant win?
Right, exactly. It's good for morale. It's good for feeling. Now they're 4-7 on the season. They're 3 games under 500, but that's closer than where they were entering today. As we're going to be joined here with our sideline reporter, Jill Schaefer, and our Panther player of the game. Stephanie Mazer picked up 12 points in the matchup. She's the point leader for the Panthers. Jill, take it away here.
Thank you, Ryan and Mohammed. I'm here with our Panther player of the game, Stephanie Mazer. First off, I want to congratulate you on you and your teammates' big win tonight. What was the biggest reason that you and your team came out on top tonight?
I feel like me and my team, especially this season, we worked really hard on just working together as a team and just having each other's backs. I feel like that really helped us out, especially in a game like today.
Thank you. Your team was able to show off so much fight today after coming off of last night's loss. How were you guys able to keep composed after that loss and winning today?
I feel like we have a lot of team chemistry, and a lot of us just play the sport because we love it. So we just like to have fun regardless of the outcome of our previous game.
Thank you. And with the Panthers now being 4-7 after this win, what do you think it'll take to make the playoff push?
It will definitely take a big push, but I think we have it in us. We really want it, so we'll see what's to come. But, yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. And your next game is against Sarah Lawrence Gromes, who the Panthers haven't beaten in 3 years. How do you guys prepare for a game like this where you might be the underdog?
We might be the underdog, but like I said, especially this year, we have a lot of team chemistry, and we're really supportive of each other, and not all teams have it, I think, as good as we do, so I think that'll help us in the underdog position.
Thank you very much, Stephanie Mazer. Great game from you guys tonight. And thank you guys for joining in for our station tonight. Sending things back to Ryan and Mohammed to continue our post-game coverage.
That was the team leader in kills and points for the women's volleyball Panthers here at SUNY Old Westbury, Stephanie Mazer. She picked up a team-leading 12 points tonight. Another phenomenal game and another phenomenal win for the Panthers.
Yep, and great game by Mazer right there. She showed that she is this team's best scorer. She had 12 points on the night, and she didn't even really play that much in the third set. I think her coach decided that she probably needed a little bit of rest.
Yeah, and, as you mentioned, again, we talked about this. Your best players need to show up and show out. Best player showed up, showed out, and was the best player on the court, not just for her team, but on both sides. And you look at how this game went. Anytime she went up in the air for a spike, it was a point. Every single time, basically. It was an unstoppable play that they were able to run all game. And, an incredible matchup for the Panthers tonight. Mohammed, any final words on this contest?
The Panthers, they're 2-1 at home now. They have a 9-game winning streak against the Cougars, and I just think they did a really phenomenal job. Even when you're playing the lesser teams, still play to the best of your ability, play as if you're playing the championship, and I think they did great. They made some mistakes that I think with a little bit of practice they might play even better and have a way better season than they've started.
Well, one thing I always like to say, good teams beat bad teams. And so what they did to a bad team is what a good team should do. And, again, that'll wrap up our broadcast tonight. An incredible win, a sweep for the Panthers. I want to give big thanks to our sideline reporter, Jill Schaefer, with great questions for our Panther player of the game, our engineers, Angelina and Ryan, for keeping everything running smoothly, and, of course, a huge thank you to our station manager, the one and only Joseph Manfredi, for making this broadcast possible. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing this game to you tonight. From all of us here at OWWR Old Westbury Web Radio, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.